Yo, what's up, Tempo family? It is your Coach Brian here, and welcome to your 20-minute full body weight strength class. We call in this one Pump Up the Volume. It's all about pushing movements. We got some pulling movements, and we even got some crawling movements. So I hope y'all ready, because we gonna get a little primal today. All right, but before we get into the nitty gritty, you know the deal. We got to start off with a healthy warm-up team. Meet me in the back of your mat. We're going to begin with some walkouts to world's greatest stretch. So from that plank position, bring the foot outside of the hands. We're going to reach back behind us, opening up the side body. Returning to high plank before bringing that opposite leg up and outside the hand. Reach, rotate. We're going to do one more on each side. Before slowly beginning to crawl yourself up to stand. Maybe in the middle of the mat, heels in, toes out. We're going to drop the hips down into a deep squat position. Okay, so elbows are going to be connected to the legs, the inner legs. And I want you to just open up. Feel those hips start to open up. Place your hands on the ground. Hips go high. Subtle hamstring stretch before dropping them back into the low squat. And while in this position, feel free to play with some wrist rolls. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to be crawling, and so we want to mobilize the wrists and make sure that they're also prepped and ready to go. Hips up. One more time here. Get the most out of these wrist rolls. Maybe we don't roll them. Maybe you just free flow with the wrists. Hips up one more time. Back down into the squat. And then slowly bring the feet together and slowly rise up to stand. One vertebrae at a time. All right. We got about 60 seconds, team, to talk about this circuit. We have 3 exercises that we're going to perform for 90 seconds in total. There will be 30 seconds between rounds, and your 3 movements that we will perform are the bear crawl, the air squat, and the push-up. For the bear crawl, we're going to begin in tabletop position. Bring the knees off the ground, and we're going to drive those hands and legs forward, crawling back, going back and forth. Next up, air squat. Everybody knows the air squat, team. Come on, y'all know the deal. Feet, hip, and shoulder width apart. We're going to keep that head and chest up. Core engaged. Drop it down, drive it up, squeeze the glutes. Finishing off with push-ups. And feel free to start from the knees, okay? Really just wake up that chest. But we got bear crawls to begin this circuit. So meet me in that tabletop, hover those knees, and let's start to walk it out. So as you take one step forward with the hand and knee at the same time, you want to think about keeping the pelvis level. So as we step, we're not opening up the hips from left to right. We're keeping everything under control. Breathe. Relax. Stand tall. As we go into these air squats, we really want to focus on getting our depth, that range of motion. Okay, so as you pay attention to that range of motion meter, we're looking for 100% range of motion. Get the depth. Make sure that you're pushing your knees away from each other as we squat down. Drive up. Squeeze. Good. Slowly back down to the floor. We got 30 seconds of push-ups. So glutes are engaged, hips are forward, hands underneath the shoulders. We're on the clock. Push away from the earth through the hands. Now, Brace your abs. Do not lose integrity. Keep the quality form, and if that means reducing the range of motion, then that's what that means. All right, you got 30 seconds to just catch your breath. That was a little teaser, right? I just gave y'all a little teaser. You know what's coming up next. We're gonna do this for a few more rounds, but this time, we're gonna fluctuate time spent in each exercise. So you got 40 seconds on the bear crawls now, 30 seconds on the air squats, 20 seconds on the push-ups. I really want to see y'all get as many reps in as possible from here on out through the rest of the class. All right, meet me in the back of the mat, going back into those bear crawls. Staying under control. Breathe. We want 360 abdominal bracing as we step. Continue to crawl, team. You only got a few more seconds here. Good. Stand up. Now I want speed here. Get those reps in. Get your full depth. We're trying to get as many reps in as possible. So we're actively pressing down, not only through the heels, but through the toes as well. Quads starting to feel it. Quads starting to light up. You might be talking back to you right now saying, hey, what's up? I'm here. I feel that. Yeah, I know. I feel it too. Back into the push-up position, team. 20 seconds worth of work. If you got it in you, we're doing these from high plank. Now, the reason why we want to get in as many reps, not just to maximize our time, but we're trying to get that heart rate up a little bit. Okay, remember, the heart is a muscle, and we got to train it accordingly. Just like we would all the other muscle groups. Okay? Gotta train the heart. Now, roll out those wrists. I know there's a lot of built up tension that might be on them from being in this bear crawl position, but the good news is, squad, it's only 20 more seconds. You gotta do it. You only gotta do it 20 more seconds. All right? Come on, meet me in the back. We crawl forward and back. Keep the form. Lose everything else. Good, stand up. Shake out the legs. 40 seconds worth of air squats. Them quads is gonna be on throwing. I know, it's okay though, it's okay. You're gonna be all right. If at any point in time, team, the burn just becomes too unbearable, stand up and then settle into a quarter squat and just hold from here. It's okay. We gotta work within our limitations. Because by doing so, we ensure that we still are working towards and progressing towards reaching muscular fatigue and increasing cardiovascular endurance. If you don't do anything, you're not going to be able to get there. But you work within the limitations that you have, and you're still going to continue to make progress. Back into the push-ups. Let's go. Now, you're officially halfway. Try and double the amount of reps you just got in. Chest. Feeling it. Yeah. Hey, guess what, team? We get to learn some new movement patterns now. How you feeling? You feeling good? Good. While you get your swig of water, while you stretch, while you do whatever you need to do to prepare yourself mentally for this next set, let me get your undivided attention and let's talk about the next few movements that we're gonna perform. First one is gonna be the Superman with reach. For this exercise, core is braced, glutes engaged as we lift the hands and legs away from the floor. After that, we'll go into our body weight hip thrust. So flipping it over, heels to glute, maximize range of motion, drive hips up, healthy hip flexor stretch there. Finishing off with suitcase crunches. So exhale, knees to chest, inhale lower. All right, flip it over, we got Superman with reaches. In 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Pause for a quick second at the top. Slow and controlled. Bring it back down. Release the tension that you just had stored up. When you contracted, all of those muscles and since we're here for 60 seconds in total, I really want you to just focus on taking your time, staying under control, not trying to do too much here, but you should be feeling it. This is a full body movement. And even if your range of motion is limited, maybe you're not getting your hands as far away from the floor as you'd like, or the lower legs, or the lower body, I should say. It's okay. Flip it back over. Going into hip thrust, drive up, big glute squeeze. Team, make sure that you're keeping your head connected to the floor here. All right? Drive up. Pause at the top. And keep your heels as close to the glutes as possible. If you'd like, you can always place the hands on the quads and apply a little manual resistance, making it a little bit more challenging to get the hips up. Definitely getting a healthy hip flexor stretch at the top before bringing the hips back down to the ground. We're out. Suitcase crunches. Hands overhead. Exhale. Crunch. Pause at the top. We're trying to get these knees as close to the forehead as possible. Keep getting those reps, keep fighting for it. Keep earning your results, gang. We're almost there. Fight through the burn. Relax. Take one big inhale. Slow exhale. Allow your abs to decompress a little bit. We got Superman with reaches. This time it's going to be for 50 seconds. All right? We're going to continue to pump up the volume here. In 3, 2, 1. Big lift. And come down. If you'd like to make it a little bit more challenging as you lift up, you can always bring the elbows down by the side, reach forward again, and then drop the head close to the earth. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Keep fighting for it. Keep earning your reps. Keep earning your stripes. And keep working your way up that leaderboard. Excellent. Squad. All right, flipping it back over for these hip thrusts. 40 seconds. That's a long time. I'm going to turn these into single legs, driving up and alternating. So unilateral, working one side at a time, forces the core to work a little bit harder. Challenges the body a little bit more. Pressing energy down into the earth through the fingertips to lift the hips up just a little bit higher. Keep working, squad. Good. Knees to chest real quick. Back into our suitcase crunches. Breathe through it. You grow through what you go through. So keep going through it. Keep going through the ringer. And know that you're going to come out on the other side a lot more stronger. Knees to chest. Slowly, slowly, slowly release the legs. Big good morning stretch. Arms overhead. Pushing energy through the heels away from the body. Oh. And let's get set up for our last round. All right? It's your 40-second round here, squad. Let's make the most out of it here. 40, 30, 20. Lift up. This is a great exercise for strengthening the lower back, which, if you're like me or majority of our population, lower back is where we store so much tension and pain because we're seated. So this is a great way for you to just offset that and build that strength within the lower back region. This one right here, team, this is the one that's gonna let you stay seated for a few more hours without really feeling it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right, hip thrust. Now I want you to experiment by keeping the hips up and then marching one leg up at a time for the final 15. Notice how that changes your stability and just how much core engagement, how much more core engagement was needed in order to complete that. All right, suitcase crunches for the win. Let's ride it out. Tempo Nation. Let's ride. Last 10. Breathe. Right there, all the way through the finish line, squad. Come on. Crunch. Ooh-wee. Sheesh. That's that work. Rub out that belly real quick for me. Nice job. We're going to finish off class with our cool down. So, what I would like for you to do is make your way to belly down. Forearms out in front. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders. We'll settle into Sphinx pose here. Gaze is forward. And then I want you to think about rolling shoulders up, down and back, pushing your forearms into the mat to subtly lift the chest up a little bit higher. Embrace this healthy front body stretch. Take a quick second to bring your forehead down on your hands, heels up towards the sky, and then we're going to windshield wipe the knees from left to right, loosening up the lower back. And then from here, we'll go into seal. So extend the arms out in front. Start here. Push your hands into the ground. And then slowly start to walk your hands back. This is a deeper front body stretch. You're gonna feel a little bit of contraction in the lower back region. And that's okay, we need to offset that. 2 times for the people in the back. Now we're gonna take her down, all the way down to the mat. Knees out wide, shoot the hips back, big toes to touch, arms go overhead, settle into child's pose. And this is how we offset that lower back contraction with this lengthening of the spine. Breathe. And then really quick, we're gonna stretch out the quad with a sideline quad stretch. So using my arm as a pillow, my bicep as a pillow, I'm gonna grab my top ankle, bringing it towards the glute here, stretching out the hip flexor, stretching out that quad, and then doing the same thing on the other side. Real brief